What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of The Braxtons. This is season 2, episode 2, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, we start the episode off with Tamar and her niece, okay? They're doing the podcast or whatever. Of course, Ashley is talking about the fact that her telling her story, you know, she wants to help others, and that's all great, right? Now, Tamar, she does apologize for not being there for her niece, which I do appreciate. I do like the fact that she acknowledges that, dang, I wish I would have known then what I know now, and I could have been there for you to help you through this journey. I'm all for that, right? However, Tamar recently just made a few statements, I guess you could say, on her Instagram, where she said that she wished that she would have known what happened between Ashley and Gabe. She's just now finding out, and she continues to say that this is a family secret. Y'all, I gotta be honest, I don't think that this is a family secret. Follow me here. This is a situation that happened to this girl when she was underage, right? The parties involved that need to know what happened, no. Her parents knew, because I believe her father knew. Gabe, of course, he knew he was dead ass wrong, and Trina knew, right? The parties involved, they knew what was going on. And aren't we consistently saying, don't tell your kids business? When stuff is going on with your kids, you don't have to go and tell every family member they business. Are we not living by that no more? Because Tamar is basically saying how, oh, because I would have aired Gabe out. Okay, you would have aired him out, and then what? Because in the grand scheme of all of this bullshit that happened, Trina still took this man back. Trina literally divorced him. They rekindled a relationship, got remarried, got another divorce, and I want to say in his dying days, she still tried to volunteer and help that man. Like, I feel like it did not matter who knew what happened back then. Trina was still probably going to be on some bullshit. Okay? And honestly, y'all, I really feel like at this point, I don't even think that Ashley is so hurt about what happened between that interaction with Gabe. I really feel like she is hurt by her aunt. I think this girl is really looking at her auntie sideways, especially now that she has actually gone through some therapy and got some help. She's looking at her aunt sideways to be like, girl, I don't understand how you knew what this man did to me. Then you remarried him. And then when that man was dying, you still tried to be involved in his life? I think that's what's hurting her. She's more disappointed in the fact that her aunt has continuously went back to this man knowing that he's trash. And since the years have gone by, it sounds like Trina has tried to justify the bullshit that Gabe was doing back in the day. Because it's crazy to me for her to come out and say, well, he can't defend himself. Defend himself? What is there to defend? Unless this man is about to come out and admit that he was wrong for engaging in a conversation with that lady, or should I say when she was a girl then, what is there to say? Is he going to tell us that she was texting him back or that she was texting him first? Even that's still wrong. You should have been the first one to go to your wife and be like, hey, your niece is saying some inappropriate things to me. This ain't cool. And like I said, if they were conversing with each other, both of them are engaging in an inappropriate conversation, that is two conversations that need to be had. One that curses Gabe out and be like, no, this relationship is done and your ass is sick. We're not getting back together ever again, and you should have never went back with him. And a conversation should have been gave to your young niece to be like, hey, as a young woman, you do not engage in conversations with, number one, grown men, number two, a married man. There are ways that these situations should have been handled, and it's very clear that it was not handled in that way. Period. But we're going to go ahead and move on from that. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to Tamar's other scene, which was her in this photo shoot. So, basically, she is prepping for this tour, and she was going to do a photo shoot for the promotion, right? It's her, October London, and Ro James. Y'all, they literally set it up for her to be at a bar. That's the scene. That's the background. It's supposed to be that she's at a bar sipping a martini, right? For some reason, that was such an issue with Tamar. And she's like, no, because my fans know that's not my brand. And I'm just like, Tamar, what are you talking about? What exactly is your brand? Because she kept describing it as like ratchet and all of this stuff. And I'm like, ratchet? Tamar, you sing love ballads. What the fuck is ratchet about your show? I can only think of one song that she has that's a little bit on the ratchet side, which was what? Hot Sugar? Girl, all of your songs, 85% of your songs are slow jams. Like, they are slow ballads. What are you talking about? So then at one point she's like, well, you know, I don't want people to think that they're going to be going to a Toni Braxton show. Baby, we've never confused the two. And what I mean by that is Tamar and Toni, they're different artists because they're different people. But, like, girl, your music is not that far off of your sister's. It's not. I know you want to be different so bad, but it's really not that far off of Toni's. Now, I will say that her team absolutely dropped the ball because she did not know what she was supposed to be doing in that scene. She didn't understand why she had to even hold a glass. But as we saw, the guys, they all had like drinks in their hand when they were taking the photos. It's just like, girl, get your team together. Because I feel like this is like the second time we've seen a ball be dropped. You know what I mean? Between two episodes. That's a little crazy. So later on, she does reprimand her team to be like, hey, we got to step it up. And mainly it's her assistant who needs to step it up because she did not get the creative for this photo shoot until like the day before. But also, I'm kind of giving her a side eye because I'm just like, well, that means that you got it the day before and you never looked at it because you still didn't know what the hell was going on. Besides that, they need to step it up. As far as the photo shoot, though, she decided, oh, yeah, I'll just drink a beer. I'm sorry. When she literally was holding that beer and we see the guys, they have like their like cognac in their hands or whatever in like the cups that they usually are served men's drinks in. I'm like, that beer ain't it. I'm sorry. Why couldn't you get a lemon drop? Hell, it could have been an espresso martini. It could have been something, but girl, it wasn't that. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on because y'all, Tawanda done got into a damn car accident. Okay. Tawanda has got into a car accident. She busted all up. Toni is checking on her to be like, girl, you just got into a car accident. And honestly, for what it sounds like, she was a pedestrian walking across the street and she got hit by a car, right? Tawanda is adamant that she is going to this bachelorette party in Tulum, okay? Now, what's crazy to me is that Toni really don't give a damn. Let me tell you why. She cares about Tawanda's well-being, but she don't give a damn about this bachelorette party. Because she kept saying, yeah, because you going to the Bahamas, right? You going to the Bahamas, right? No, she's going to Mexico. Like, she's not going over there. Why do you keep sending her to an island? And she's trying to tell her sister, like, listen, you just got hit by a car. I don't think it's in your best interest to go to this, shower. I'm sorry, it's not a shower. It's not a bridal shower. This is a bachelorette party. But, of course, Tawanda gonna do what she want to do. And she goes, okay? For me, it's giving she don't want to postpone it because the show is probably paying for it. But that's a whole other story. So, we get to Tulum, right? And she has 20-something people there. I'm like, wait a minute, who the fuck is all these people? Come to find out, Tamar is supposed to be her maid of honor, right? Tamar says that she's supposed to be the maid of honor, yet when, what's her name, Tawanda asked her, she sent her a message being like, oh my gosh, thank you for making me your maid of honor. Like, I love you so much. It's going to be so great. And she did not get a response back. I'm like, Tawanda, what the fuck? Like, how do you send out an invite for something like that and you don't even respond back? Weirdo behavior. Did you not mean to send that to Tamar, but once she got it, you couldn't take it back? What the hell was that? So then we also learned that this whole planning with her shower and all of this, Tamar has not been involved at all. Has not been involved. And I'm like, well, how is that supposed to be your maid of honor? Now, I'm not sure if Trina is the matron of honor, so maybe she's taking on more of that role, because Trina has been quite involved with Tawanda in this wedding. But the vibes are absolutely off with the sisters, okay? But let's be honest, they've always been off when it comes to Tawanda and Tamar especially. Honestly, I feel like the only reason why she even made Tamar a maid of honor is because Tracy died. And I feel like they are trying so bad to make it seem like they are really like sisters who love each other. And they're really not, okay? They're really not. I must say, I do miss Tracy a lot, because with Tracy not there, you see how much of the glue she was to kind of hold some of the sisters together, okay? But at the same time, Tracy would always get them together, because I will never forget when she called Tawanda a snake. I said, oh yes, baby, and she is, okay? So, at one point, Tawanda, she's talking to one of her friends, and she's like, I am kind of feeling away because my bio sisters. First of all, every time she kept saying bio sisters, that shit pissed me off, because I'm like, girl, we know who you're talking about. Just say your sisters, the Braxton girls. It's okay. So she's like, my bio sisters, they're not there for me. It doesn't seem like they're trying to be there for me. Tawanda, first of all, this is your second marriage, okay? You've been married before. You may not have had the glitz and the glam, but baby, you've been married before. Secondly, you have sisters who work in entertainment. And y'all, this is not me trying to justify their choices to choose work over what Tawanda got going on, but the scheduling for events and all the things that celebrities have to do, girl, sometimes you cannot get out of those contracts or they're going to sue you. For example, if Tony was to say, oh, I'm not showing up to do my performance in Vegas because my sister is throwing a bridal shower or whatever she's throwing in Mexico, they could very well sue her for missing her job. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, I just kind of feel like, Tawanda, I'm not sure why you're expecting so much out of people that have never showed up for you and somebody that you do not like. Tony don't show up for nobody. And I mean no fucking body. Literally, I really think that Tony thought that she was going to be able to put her sisters on and just have to pop in every now and then. Y'all know how on Basketball Wives, Shawnee O'Neal will pop up once in a blue moon now. She's not a full cast member, but her goddamn picture is always in the dead center of the promo photos. I think that's what Tony thought this was going to be. I think she thought she was not going to have to work and actually film with her sisters because she don't like them, and she was just going to collect her checks. Okay? I really think so. And on the other hand, we have Tamar. Girl, you don't like Tamar. You don't like her. You have never liked your sister. I don't know what has happened, directly in their childhood or actually, it may not even be childhood. It could be their young adulthood. I don't know. Y'all remember how Tracy was holding on to the fact that they went on ahead and were the Braxtons group and they left her behind? Sometimes I feel like maybe Tawanda may have a little bit of envy for Tamar, because Tamar actually had a solo album out of the girls outside of Tony years ago, okay? I'm not talking about when she was with Vince. I'm talking about Tamar Braxton had a solo deal, and she went on ahead and dropped an album outside of the Braxton sisters. And was that album, a platinum selling album? No, but the opportunity came to her. Also, on top of that, Tamar is the one who came up with this show. Tamar is the one who married a multi-millionaire Vince. She was able to continue to have a music career. I feel like sometimes those sisters are envious. Let's be honest. The most that Tawanda has made out of her career has been being a reality star. And that did not happen until Tamar came up with the idea for the show, for Family Values. Before that, she was singing in the background to Tony. And before that, or should I say while she was doing that, she was her personal assistant. Like, it's just giving, you wish that you had the life that your sister got. I'm just saying. Now, besides that, she says that she's going to make the most out of this trip, right? I'm like, okay, fine. Tawanda says that she's really going to try because her bio sisters are not there. And the crazy thing about it, y'all, is that she said this not once, but she said it twice. And one of those times was in front of Trina. And I don't understand how Trina did not correct her and be like, well, girl, I'm here. I understand that Tony and Tamar are not here, but I'm here. Don't just say your bio sisters. Also, you already know that Tracy is here in spirit. Please stop. Okay? At one point, I want to say Tawanda, she was saying how she feels like she's being squeezed into, people's schedules because she got on the phone with Tony, right? And Tony just kind of checked in, seeing how everything was going in Tulum. And she's like, oh, are you going to come to my bridal shower? And of course, Tony's like, yes, I'm going to come. I just got to figure out my schedule. Oh, that's a big red flag. Girl, your sister is Tony Braxton. Like, also, sometimes I'm just like, girl, you chose the dates for your wedding and all of that stuff, right? Sometimes things don't align. For example, if I'm not mistaken, when Tamar was talking to her friend, it was like, yeah, I'm trying to make it down to Tulum. I want you to come with me, right? Am I tripping, or did she say that she wasn't going to make it to the wedding because it's too close to her birthday or something like that? And y'all, honestly, I don't even feel bad if she did not go to Tawanda's wedding. Let me tell you why. Because her sisters have played in her face, especially when it comes to her birthday. Remember when Vaughn proposed to proposed to Trina on Tamar's birthday? That shit was crazy. That shit was out of line. You could have absolutely proposed to that lady the next day. Not on this girl's birthday. So now we have somebody that wants to do a wedding, and it's right by Tamar's birthday. You're right. I'm going to choose myself. I don't want to be at your funky ass wedding, okay? But besides that, y'all, here's the thing. This is where things got real messy for me. Tamar's there in confessional saying how she was coming to Tulum. However, she was told not to go. And then the producer, who's very messy, is like, oh, what made you not go? She was like, you are the one who told me not to go. The producer, the show producer. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I find this to be very, very weird. Usually a producer is not going to step in and tell somebody not to go somewhere unless they know it is going to be very bad to the point where people are going to be physically fighting. And I feel like that would be the only time a producer will tell somebody not to go. Especially considering this is a reality show and people thrive off the drama. Like, that was a bit weird for me. So basically, the producer, OG, was having a conversation with Tawanda and was saying how, Tony, she's not going to be able to make it. And at that point, I feel like Tawanda was pissed off. She was pissed off because she knew that her sisters were not coming. So she's mad about that. Then the person's like, oh, well, Tamar said she's coming. She's on her way. And for some reason, Tawanda is like, no, she's not coming for, a reason to support me. She's coming to be messy. She's coming with her own motives. And, she did not want her sister there. Now, y'all, I don't know if it was because she was just in her feelings. She could have absolutely been in her feelings about them not showing up and being there for her in the way that she wanted them to be there for her, even though she's never expressed to them how she wants them to be there for her. Okay? In what ways does she need them to be there to support her? Okay? But I just don't think that was the producer's place to tell Tamar not to show up. It's one thing if you looking out for Tamar, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm just like, even though Tawanda said that, Tamar's going to mess everything up. There's nothing that Tamar could have done that could have messed anything up. Nothing. Y'all went ziplining. Y'all had a party at the house, a little pajama party. There's nothing that she could have done that would have been so out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Tawanda was upset. She was in her feelings. This girl's already got broken bones and shit, missing teeth. And it was a lot of stuff happening at the same time. I just don't feel like that was the producer's call to tell Tamar not to show up. Moving on from there. Y'all, we got Evelyn talking about she writing a book. And I believe it was called For Better or For Worse. I said, girl, let it go. I get it. There are a lot of people's mothers who are famous at this point who are also kind of in the limelight. But let's be honest, we do not need a book from Evelyn Braxton. We don't. Sorry to say it, ma'am. We don't need it. I'm not really interested. I get it. Miss Tina was able to do it. But girl, I'm not sure if everybody's too interested in your life. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we've seen a lot play out on the show. Y'all told a lot of y'all story already. It is very hard for people to continue to be interested in you when you already told so much. Okay? Now, moving on from there, I did mention that Tamar and her assistant, they talked about how he needs to do a better job. The only thing that stood out to me was the fact that Tamar was like, this is a dream job for all of us. And I'm just like, who is it a dream? I'm sorry, being a personal assistant is not a fucking dream job. Cool, you get to go to cool events, you get to kick it with a celebrity, but baby, you really don't have a life because your life is their life. And you are at their beck and call 24/7 pretty much. You don't get days off like that. But child, I digress. Lastly, it was good to see Tawanda's daughter. We have not seen Brooke in a very long time. She's a pretty little girl. Now, I don't want to call her a little girl, but she's a pretty young lady. Besides that, the girls are playing games at the house, right? They're playing games for the pajama party. Now, I am actually surprised by this little fact that we learned, and that was that Tawanda actually dated Bobby Brown. I said, girl, when? What year was this? Where was Whitney? Where was Whitney? Because she did not play about Bobby. What was going on? Okay? Then, y'all, as they're playing the game, at one point, Trina disappears. It's like, damn, where the hell is Trina at? Y'all, why did we learn that her husband, he went to urgent care and had some type of congestive heart failure? So now she's leaving Tulum. I said, well, girl, now you have 0 sisters, okay? You have a bunch of ladies of honor, which I have never heard that term. And I'm just like, girl, how many people was actually in the bridal party? You know what? I don't even care, Tawanda. Y'all, that was the episode. We shall see what the Braxtons are doing, on the next episode. One thing that I want them to do is stop playing at the top of the episode clips for that one scene of the sisters all meeting. Please stop doing that, because by the time y'all actually air it, we don't even want to see it. But nonetheless, y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.